What's crappening? Welcome to Under the Foreskin, a show dedicated to the happenings of the SJU Misfits Fantasy Football League. My name is Kyle. I'm the head of football operations for the Potomac Pretenders, the undefeated Potomac Pretenders at 3-0, and also the voice of the SJU Misfits Fantasy Football. I'm flying solo here in the Under the Foreskin Studios today. We got a great lineup of stuff to talk about, including Week 3 results, Waiver Wire Wednesday, the obvious trades this week, and, of course, Week 4 Pick'em. But let's dive into standings. Every once in a while, I'll do a little standings update for you guys. The Sausage Wallets, straight out of Poland, our number one foreign team, lead the way at 3-0, followed closely by my team, the Potomac Pretenders, also at 3-0. And after that, a large group of teams at 2-1. The Crapstone Prairie Dogs lead that group, followed by the Sioux City Smugglers, the Baton Rouge Border Collies, and the Gnawbone Butte Pirates lead the Flint Tropics and Hollywood Hotties for the bottom three 2-1 teams. After that, we have 3 1-2 teams. The Tallahassee Trouser Snakes lead that group. The Chernobyl Tin Whiskers are right behind them. And the Duluth Draft Dodgers are the last of the 1-2 teams. There are 3 0-3 teams off to a tough start this season, led by the Buffalo Armadillos. I guess you're leading the blind there, Jack. 0-3, 271 points for, followed by the Poughkeepsie Pandas. A little bit of a surprise there at the bottom of the standings. And at the very, very bottom, the stink hole, the Waco Wrinklebees. Tough start in Waco to start the season. Joel will look to turn it around on the season and retain his fantasy relevance title that is so sought after by people like me and Jack and a few other teams. I'm not sure. Vanis. I'm not sure. Well, all those other teams. Anyways, let's move on to Week 3 results. My team, the Potomac Pretenders, took on the Poughkeepsie Pandas. And I'm coming up with a new thing this week. We're going to try it out. So Yahoo comes up with these gay-ass headlines for their recap every time. I thought maybe I'd just rework those headlines a little bit and make my own gay-ass headline. So the headline out of Potomac this week: Pandas, Dwayne Bowe and CJ Spiller switch from bamboo to donuts as Pretenders take early lead and never look back. Yeah, that was pretty gay, I'm going to be honest. But I think some of them are better than that, to be honest. For the Potomac Pretenders, 104 points. The Poughkeepsie Pandas 72 in the loss. Colin Kaepernick, though, for the Pretenders, did not perform up to par. 2 points. And the tight end woes are now over in Potomac. -2 Pettigrew, you're off the squad. 0 old man Dallas Clark, you're off the squad. That was -2 points for 2 weeks in the tight end slot for me. I started Charles Clay, of all people, this week. He scored 4 points. We're back in positive numbers at +2. Jamal Charles, huge week, 23 points on Thursday Night Football. Got me off to a nice lead, especially when Dwayne Bowe put up the big donut. Joik Bell, 18 points. Gio Bernard, 15 points. Pretty solid three-headed monster this week. For the Poughkeepsie Pandas, Dwayne Bowe continues to unimpress. He had a donut. CJ Spiller left with an injury. He had a donut. I guess some bright spots. Quarterback EJ Manuel, 19 points for the Pandas this week, and Jimmy Graham with 26. Those two accounted for well over half the Pandas' points this week. Not what he was looking for from the rest of his squad. Next up, Polish Sausage Wallet, the only other undefeated team. 80 points this week. They snuck it out against Crapstone, who takes their first loss this season. Polish Sausage Wallet slip and slide by the Prairie Dogs, remain unbeaten. That's the headline out of Poland this week. McCoy, 22 points. Guy is a freaking rock star. T-Gon, only 2 points. Tony Gonzalez this week. The magic might be gone. I watched a little bit of this game at Zach's house, and Tony Gonzalez, he's kind of getting the wrinkles on his arms and stuff. That guy is old, and he just doesn't look quite as electric as he once was for the Waco Wrinklebees. For Crapstone, he needed Moreno for 10 points to tie it up on Monday night. He didn't get that. He got 3 points after a big week out of Moreno the week before. Crapstone looked unstoppable. And now they're back to flex woes. 3 out of 5 hit for the Big Five. Marshawn Lynch didn't get it done, and Randall Cobb did not get it done this week. Crapstone looks to bounce back this week. Duluth Draft Dodgers took on the Chernobyl Tin Whiskers. Dodgers get off the schneid as DeMarco sees double digits for the first time in a long time. That's the headline out of Duluth. 105-70 was the score. Both teams now at 1-2. DeMarco Murray, as I said, 26 points, and Eric Decker, a little icing on the cake on Monday Night Football. 20 points straight from the arm of Peyton Manning, the Chernobyl Tin Whiskers quarterback. Running backs in Chernobyl combined for 1 point. D-Rich and can't remember who the hell his other guy is. Oh, Richard Mendenhall combined for 1 point. Tough week for the Schnobel Tin Whiskers from the running backs. Next up, Sioux City Smugglers traveled to Waco. Waco Wrinkle Beast look flaccid in loss. 84-68, Smugglers get the win. 5 players in double digits for the Smuggler, but no one over 15. Kind of a ho-hum week for those Smugglers from Sioux City. Lightning doesn't strike twice. Tavon Austin got the nod this week for the Smugglers, and he only scored 3 points after a huge week the week before when he was sitting on the Smugglers bench. Waco Wrinkle Beast, Drew Brees had a stellar week, 31 points, and Jason Snelling had 16 points. Nice fill-in for the injured Steven Jackson there, Joel. Unfortunately, other than that, Marlon Brown and Lance Moore, double donut in Waco. Not what he was looking for from his wide receivers. Flint Tropics took on the Gnawbone Butte Pirates, and if I do say so myself, I have to toot my own horn. Beep beep. I called this one. Flint Tropics. Big Dick Janikowski fails to come through in clutch for the Gnawbone Butte Pirates. On Monday night, he couldn't get it done against the Denver D. 87-80, the Flint Tropics win. Jordan Cameron, 24 points. Run DMC. It was kind of ugly on Monday night, but he got a solid 10 points. He threw for a touchdown. I think he ran for one. Other than that, it was pretty hideous. Roddy and Tate, Ben Tate combined for 4 points. Not what Flint Tropics are looking for. But fortunately, it was enough to get by the Butte Pirates. Cam had 28. MJD and Alfred Morris combined for 24. So nice 3 players there. Unfortunately, Cruz, Big Dick, and Owen Daniels, combined for 7 points. So tough day out of those 3 players for the Butte Pirates. That'll happen. Flint Tropics get the win. Baton Rouge Border Collies flew into Buffalo this week. Dillos retreat to shell as Border Collies yip by. See what I did there with the yip? Border Collies are yippy. Seattle DI called them to win this game for them. They did not. They were the second highest scoring D in this matchup. 14 points. They put in the second stringer zone the second half, and Jacksonville had a little bit of luck with that in there. Matt Prater, highest kicker this week. Possibly the highest scoring player on the Buffalo Armadillos. 17 points on Monday Night Football. Combine that with Orange Julius and his 9 points. The Buffalo Armadillos gave the Border Collies a little bit of a scare. I was watching the game and didn't even realize what was happening and that it was getting closer than it probably should have. Ex-Baton Rouge Border Collie Stephen Ridley, 3 points this week for the Buffalo Armadillos. Jonas really high-fiving himself for getting rid of Stephen Ridley, and Jack maybe not so happy with his move as of right now. Hollywood Hotties moved to 2-1 with a win over Tallahassee Trouser Snakes, who fall to 1-2. The headline that reads out of Hollywood: Hotties shrivel up the Trouser Snakes, 101-75. Antonio Brown, monster game. Been waiting for this for 2 years. 32 points on Sunday Night Football. Russell Wilson, 21. Mike Wallace and David Wilson seem to be the only problematic children for the Hollywood Hotties. They scored 5 points this week. For the Trouser Snakes, triple donut. Hakeem Nicks, Kellen Winslow, Kenny Britt. Not a point out of a single one of them. In fact, not a single catch out of a single one of them. Yikes. Bright spot, Chicago D, 26 points. They look pretty good on the Tallahassee starting lineup. So that does it for the results for Week 3. Trades this week got off to a hot start right after Under the Foreskin on last Thursday. The Baton Rouge Border Collies traded Andrew Luck and Arian Foster to the Duluth Draft Dodgers for Matt Forte, Michael Bush, and Matt Ryan. So, a good trade, I think, for both guys. Kind of just hedging your bets on who you think's going to be better out of that group. I don't think anyone really gained a position or gained depth or anything like that. It's just a matter of Foster for Forte and Luck versus Matty Ice. So, I don't know. I like the trade for both teams. Hopefully they're both happy. I know Foster didn't have a big week right away, but the Dodgers got the win, and that's all that matters. After that, Tallahassee Trouser Snakes started their trading brigade this week. They dished Reggie Bush, Tony Romo, and Kellen Winslow to the Sioux City Smugglers for Frank Gore, Tavon Austin, and Geno Smith. So Reggie and the injury woes are out of Tallahassee, and he gets Frank Gore. I don't know how he feels about Frank. He obviously likes him, and a couple other decent players. I don't know. I think I like this trade better for the Smugglers, although they do have Tom Brady, so Tony Romo is probably irrelevant unless you're going to bench Brady for Romo, which I guess you could. After that, Tallahassee traded with the Polish sausage wallets. Hakeem Nicks, after his donut this week, he was sent to the sausage wallets for Ryan Matthews. Not much to say about that. Two struggling players. Dave continued his trading brigade, trading James Starks for Lance Moore from the Waco Wrinklebees. Dave then proceeded to drop Lance Moore and pick up some other player on the waiver wire for free. So, not really sure on the strategy there, but whatever. It's Dave. He wasn't the first to trade. He will definitely be the most to trade. Waiver wire Wednesday, Jonathan Franklin, $38 to a Packer fan. I think it was Roger. Pretty typical Packer fan action there. Brandon Bolden, $27 to the Buffalo Armadillos. We'll see. He's got Stephen Ridley. Might not be a bad pickup. A little insurance policy. Donnie Avery went to the Polish sausage wallets for $17. Ted Ginn, 16 to the Baton Rouge Border Collies, and Ryan Broyles, 15 to the Poughkeepsie Pandas. Everyone else in single digits. Not going to report on that every week. Week 4 pick'em. Here we go. The Hollywood Hotties take on the Poughkeepsie Pandas. For the Hotties, they're going to need big games out of Reggie Wayne at Jacksonville, Antonio at Minnesota, in London though, and Mike Wallace at New Orleans. You know, if they don't, Antonio Brown is who I was referring to when I said Antonio. If he doesn't get bigs out of those three guys, I worry for his team. He's got some tough matchups all the way around and some kind of just soft spots in his lineup. You know, for the Pandas, they're favoring this game 97-79, and honestly, I think they have too much talent to keep losing. I'm going Pandas this week over the Hotties. Baton Rouge Border Collies fly straight into Flint, Michigan. DMC versus Washington, Dez versus San Diego for Flint, some nice matchups. For the Border Collies, Hilton and T-Rich both play Jacksonville. It'll be interesting if the Colts get a big in that game. Do they sit their starters like Seattle did last week? That might really hurt the Baton Rouge Border Collies. I'm still leaning Baton Rouge, although I think it's going to be closer than the projections say. Border Collies get the win in a tight one for me. Narbonne Butte Pirates are at the Waco Wrinklebeast this week and favored by 6 points. Morris at Oakland, MJD at Indy. MJD, you know, could get some more garbage time and just have some nice runs in general because Indy's run D is a little soft. Monte Ball, you know, he's in this week. We'll see if he gets any handoffs. He fumbled again on Monday night. I got Monte in another league. Joel, I'm 0-3 in that league. He is just he's a black mark on a team right now. If you didn't really hit another player on the money, you're in trouble. Jason Snelling at New England, tough matchups for Waco all the way around this week. Drew Brees on Monday night will be fun to watch to see if he can come back from the deficit he will most likely be in. I don't think he does. I think the Butte Pirates get this one and probably by quite a margin. Chernobyl Tin Whiskers take on the Tallahassee Trouser Snakes. They're favored by 4 points this week. Vic and D-Jax are playing Denver. Figure they're going to be playing catch-up. There's going to be a lot of balls in the air in that game. Will Vernon Davis play and Ray Rice? Those are both big question marks for the Trouser Snakes. He got rid of some of his injury troubles, but still has some on his team. So Vernon Davis is tomorrow night, I believe. Be interesting to see if he plays. I think his backup is Chandler out of Buffalo if Vernon can't go tomorrow night. For the Tin Whiskers, Manning's going to go nutso against the Eagles. The Eagles are a terrible defense, and I think Peyton has a huge game. Oh, Golden Tate, he's back in the lineup. I guess I'd rather see Denarius Moore, who's currently riding the pine. I think Washington's defense is horrible. I think Denarius could have another nice game like he did last week against Denver. And Golden Tate, you know, it just isn't showing me a ton. So I would like to see Denarius in that. Either way, I'm going Trouser Snakes. I just think there's too many points out of D-Jax and Vicks this week. Vic as they play catch-up. Duluth Draft Dodgers play the undefeated Polish Sausage Wallets. Love the matchups this week for the Draft Dodgers. Other than Arian Foster versus Seattle, everyone else is just a money matchup. So really looking forward to see what the Dodgers can do this week. And for the Sausage Wallets, they kind of got meh matchups. They're kind of middle of the road. They got the Minnesota defense projected for 20 points. I don't know if they've watched the Minnesota defense, and I don't know how they could think that's possible. Even though they're playing Pittsburgh, I just don't see that. You know, I'm going off the radar here. I'm calling this the upset of the week. Draft Dodgers knock off the Sausage Wallets in a very, very tight one, but they do it nonetheless. I'm going Dodgers. Crapstone Prairie Dogs take on the Sioux City Smugglers. This one's projected to be tight, but who cares about projections? Crapstone, first week of bye-week blues. No Aaron Rodgers, no Randall Cobb. Big Ben's taking his place against the Vikes D, which I think is a nice play. And DeAndre Hopkins, who's been a little bit of a jump start so far. You know, if Andre Johnson can't play in that Houston game, you got to figure DeAndre is going to get a lot of looks. Might be another nice substitution for Randall Cobb. Unfortunately for Crapstone, Sioux City Smugglers, Rob Gronkowski has entered the building and is in the starting lineup. And I think Reggie Bush is going to play. So with those two out there, I like the Smugglers this week. Crapstone's fallen to 2-2. Smugglers, I think, will move to 3-1. Last but not least, Potomac Pretenders. They're going to 4-0. We know that's happening. They're taking on the Buffalo Armadillos. A little nervous about Monday Night Football. Colston and Sproles both playing. I seem to have a little bit of trouble with guys playing on Monday night against me. They usually have big weeks, so that'll be something to look out for. I just think it's going to be a big deficit that Buffalo's down by. Kaepernick's coming back this week. Torrey Smith is scoring 20-plus points this week. If anyone wants to bet on that, I'd be happy to take a $5 bet. And I'm excited about the rest of the squad. Giovanni Bernard's going to have a big day. Heath Miller plays the Minnesota Vikings. They've allowed 7 tight end touchdowns in 3 games. I like Heath Miller's chances this week. Big Ben's probably going to throw those to him. Looking forward to that, Alex. We can give some air high fives to each other while I'm playing golf all weekend in Duluth. So I'm going Potomac, Buffalo to 0-4. Might as well pack up shop, sell the squad, try to get some nice auction dollars for next year because, Jack, I'm a little fearful that it might be over for you. With that said, that's it for week 4 of Under the Foreskin. Thanks for listening. As always, follow us on Twitter at SJU and Misfits and on YouTube, youtube.com/SJU Misfits. Until next week, good luck out there on the gridiron, everybody. We look forward to talking to you next week. Over and out.